Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome, my friends, to the 100th episode!
You know, I really had to rack my brain to come up with a topic for this one. I could do a review of a really horrible cartoon episode, but I already did that for the 50th. Or I could do another top 10 list, but I already did that for the 25th. And I promised I wouldn't do another. So I got to thinking, why not review something that has been requested quite a few times by various people?
After all, I should give the audience what they want, right? And besides, that way this episode is all your fault. With that said, let's take a look at one of the most hated characters in the history of G.I. Joe.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner when a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a winner.
Let me just show you the guy we'll be talking about today.
Ta-da! Just drink that all in for a moment. Do I really need to say anything? I could end this review right here. I mean, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, this one is just the word stupid written 1,000 times, with maybe a word beginning with F in front of it. Yeah, this image should really just say it all.
But believe me, I'm just getting started.
Meet Raptor. This figure was released in 1987 with all original body parts.
And where the hell do I even begin?
He's a frickin' bird. Yeah, this guy is definitely not a feather in Hasbro's cap.
I'm so sorry.
The man has a hat shaped like a bird of prey. The thing isn't removable, by the way, even though it isn't part of the head sculpt. It's a separate piece that's glued on. This annoys me. If you go through the trouble of molding an extra part, make it so it can come off. As far as his detailing is concerned, they really went the extra mile with this guy.
It's a real shame it's on such a stupid character.
He's wearing falconer's gloves and has a very detailed belt buckle in the shape of the bird. And of course, I have to talk about the feathers.
Oh God, the feathers!
They are very well sculpted and are practically everywhere. He's got them coming out of his boots and coming out of his gloves, but mostly they're on his shoulders and back. Question, how the hell are they staying on there? I can only assume he spends his mornings putting copious amounts of glue on his back and then rolls around in a goddamn henhouse.
I'd say this leaves me speechless, but I've already written paragraph after paragraph about this stupid weirdness.
Speaking of detailing, check out this guy's chest and abs. I mean, you can grate cheese on those things. The best example of attention to detail, though, check out his nose. It's actually shaped more like a beak than on other figures, completing the theme. This proves that somebody at Hasbro, probably while incredibly high, must have really loved the idea of this character.
And now we come to his accessories.
He has a cape, shaped like a bird's wings, because of course he has. And it's not to make him fly, though there's no doubt that every kid that ever got this toy tried to do just that. It warms my heart when I think of all the times this freak has been thrown off roofs and out of windows. I call that poetic justice. I'd call it ironic, but ever since Alanis Morissette, I have no idea what that word means. He also came with a tame falcon. No great surprise there. I would have been amazed if he didn't come with a bird of his own. And this was the only toy of Raptor ever released, which is at last scientific proof that we live in a kind and just universe. he didn't even get a new toy in the various anniversary or convention lines, even though pretty much everybody else did.
So now we come to the character, and let's see if they can explain this creature that was born out of the massive cocaine use of the 80s.
I should first point out that the character predates Jurassic Park, back when the word raptor was still associated with birds of prey, not velociraptors. That's also why I'm not using the clever girl gag I'm sure you were all hoping for. According to his file card, he's a yuppie tax consultant. He's an evil accountant. You know, when I started this show 99 episodes ago, I didn't think I would get to use Erwin R. Shyster, the wrestling tax accountant, as a comparison so many times. And yet here we are. Again. In fact, I can throw another wrestler into the mix, since Raptor here is what would have happened if IRS and Coco Beware had a baby. Anyway, Raptor became obsessed with falconry and started training the birds and using them for poaching. On one such poaching trip, he found himself on a cobra mink farm.
Because Cobra has mink farms, apparently.
On that farm, he was caught by Destro.
Because Destro, the arms dealer, was in charge of Cobra mink farms, apparently.
Now, when Destro was confronted with a guy looking like this, instead of shooting him many times, he offered him a job instead to develop a bird of prey strong enough to attack the Joes.
Nothing ever came of that, so I'm just gonna assume he ended up doing Destro's taxes.
One last note about the file card. It even has the gall to say that Raptor isn't delusional about what he is, even if he dresses up like a bird and spends most of his time in a giant bird cage.
Yeah, nice try there, Hammer. I ain't buying it. Oh, I can't stay mad at you.
Now we come to the comics, where Raptor is introduced in issue 59, though there is some ominous foreboding in the previous issue, as Cobra Commander visits one of his Crimson Guards and finds specially bred hawks in his base of operations. Yeah, hawks, even though the guy's whole deal is falcons. And I will now bow to pressure and present a visual gag related to him training falcons and hawks. There. You're welcome.
When Cobra Commander first meets Raptor, he's less than impressed.
This bird brain is crazier than Dr. Mindbender. I'm sick and tired of wackos in funny suits. Let's ignore the crap he's wearing himself, shall we? Still, if Cobra frickin' Commander is insulting your dress sense, you should probably reevaluate your life choices. Raptor does defend himself and explains his costume. Apparently, it's just so that his birds are more at ease around him.
Yeah, I ain't buying that either.
Also, it doesn't explain his bare frickin' chest. And the way he talks isn't really helping him to become the poster boy for sanity either. Yes, aha! I knew it! Yes! You all think I'm crazy, but I'm not!
Good defense there, buddy.
More stuff happens in these issues, but since they relate to Cobra Commander, I'm not gonna spoil them now. Raptor's ultimate fate in the comics is a harsh but deserved one. Cobra Commander, who has disappeared for quite some time and was even replaced with an impersonator, returns and decides to deal with everybody in Cobra he considers traitors. The Birdman, along with several other nobodies and some important characters like Zartan and Firefly, are locked in an old freighter, which is then thrown into a volcano and buried under a ton of rubble.
Buried alive. Buried alive.
Now, most of the important characters do eventually manage to escape. I mean, it's still a comic. But Raptor and other minor characters aren't so lucky. He eventually dies from botulism after eating cans of ham and lima beans that have gone bad. I almost feel sorry for him.
Almost.
But geez, check out Cobra Commander here. He locks his own people up, throws the entire prison into a volcano, buries them with explosives, and expects them to starve to death. That's friggin' hardcore, dude.
In fact, I can only think of one other evil overlord that has worse human resources policies. Hagen. Ugh.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Ah! How did you?
I always know when people use my likeness without my permission. I hope you like pain, because... Haven't I seen you before?
Now that you mention it, I think you came to my school for my sorting ceremony. Difficult. Very difficult. Plenty of cowardice, I see. Not a bad mind either. Oh, there's talent for toadying, oh yes. And a thirst for power and wealth. But where to put you? Not Afghanistan. Not Afghanistan. Not Afghanistan, eh? You could be great, you know. It's all there in your head. And Diamanda will help you on the way to greatness. Until she inevitably kills you, I mean. Please, anything but Afghanistan. Anything. Well, if you're sure, better be Cobra!
Bollocks!
Yeah, I wanted to join Afghanistan, really, but, sorting out. Didn't give me any choice.
Do not lie to Diamanda Hagen. She knows. She always knows.
All right. Look, I just wasn't crazy about the mortality rate, okay? I mean, most of your minions don't last past the first act.
As if my reviews have acts. If you're such a wuss, then why didn't you join the good guys?
I did consider that, but their recruiter didn't really inspire me with confidence.
Greetings, my friends. I know the bad guys have all the cool uniforms and laser weapons and beasts from hell, but the Starks have heart and casual Fridays. Due to certain events, we have several openings, several thousand in fact, and with great opportunities for advancement in leadership roles, especially considering most of our remaining nobility are children. If you sign up now, I can practically guarantee you'll survive an entire season. Guarantee void north of the wall. So join now. I mean, come on. Who could offer you a better deal in all of Westeros? Pay no attention to the lady with the magnificent dragons.
I thought it better to go with Cobra since, nobody ever seems to hit anybody else in a firefight.
Web!
I think I remember being called a wimp once before.
Before you get all flashbacky on me, I believe I was threatening you. What do you do anyway?
I review G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, the all-American fanboy. Well, I can't shoot you now. I can't kill something that has no life.
Well, that was weird. And now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
I'm pretty sure I was talking about something before we took this left turn right into madness. Alright, Joy.
The Raptor toy was released in between the time of the Sunbow cartoon and the Deke one, so he doesn't appear in either. Let's be thankful for small miracles there.
And that was Raptor. My thoughts? Ye gods!
I mean, you could tell they tried to salvage the character with the mold detailing and in both the file card and the comics. But no amount of polish was gonna make this turd shine.
However, I'm gonna say something shocking now.
This character is horrible and I hate him.
That's not the shocking part. You see, he also represents everything that is right with the G.I. Joe line.
G.I. Joe has always had a degree of silliness. It was never a grimdark tale of hardened soldiers versus terrorists. So, having kids throw this guy in the air or off roofs is quite appropriate, and he deserves to be a part of the G.I. Joe line. Just keep him the hell away from me.
Well, there you have it. 100 episodes. I laughed, I cried, I developed an unnatural fear for the color orange. But you know what? It's been a great run. And here's to the next 100. And thank you all for being here with me. Hey, how come I wasn't in the 100th episode? You get the whole month of October already, you jackass. Well, see you next time, everybody.